Hello everyone and welcome to my next reaction to House of the Dragon. So I have a feeling that this episode is going to be a little bit on the slower side, at least in comparison to the last episode, and generally be dealing with the fallout of what happened in the last episode. But I have no idea what to truly expect. I'm excited to get into the next one. Let's go. Oh no. Oh no, we're starting with this. Okay. Oh, that produce is looking rough.
The traitor dragon Maylis! Slain at Brook's Rest by your king! To Regent!
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory. If it was one.
Sure. Yeah, they all looked thrilled. Is that Aegon? Dead or alive?
I thought the dragons was gods.
Slain at Brook's Rest by your king!
It's just me.
Also, I think a lot of them are close to starving. So, I mean, I feel like there's a healthy amount of them that, you know, might be like, okay, cool, but we're all hungry, so. Oof. I think Alicent wants a play-by-play of what specifically happened.
Is he alive?
His Grace remains with us for the moment.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh my. I mean, I didn't think it would look pretty, but this is gonna be rough. Oh.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my word. Ooh. Holy, holy, holy. Okay, okay. Wow.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
What happened?
We took the castle at the cost of some 900 men.
Sheesh.
So I've heard. The king. Sir Kristen, what befell him?
His Grace fought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
I could not say.
We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
Oh!
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
My loyalty to you is proven, my queen.
Your loyalty, perhaps. But your willingness to give me deference in a time of war.
I could never doubt your capability or your quickness of mind. It is merely that the gentler sex heretofore has not been much privy to the strategies of battle or their execution.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
Oh! Okay. Also, the person who is normally in this room that actually did go into battle.
Send to Maidenpool and to Cracklaw Point. Let them man their garrisons and give them stores or weapons if they find them wanting.
Was of the gentler.
If Cole pursues his campaign,
The time is ripe. If we can strike King's Landing before that dragon is recovered.
then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It's out of the question.
What would you have me do?
Oof. Oh boy. If we thought these council meetings were rough before.
I can sit still no longer. I must act.
Oh boy.
The phrase. They control the crossing at the Twins.
The phrase.
Dragonstone's greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act. I will treat with the phrase to secure it.
She will not like it.
Then don't tell her. Not until I'm away.
Okay. Okay. Love the initiative, but oh no. Oh no.
The hour is late. My dragon is hungry. You have no choice but to submit.
Not my dragon is
Terms
hungry.
are simple. Bend the knee to me, or your house burns.
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwood cunt and his hired dragon.
Oh, here we go again.
Dragons were a people. Did your brother's head keep on its way back to you, Willem? I heard the maggots got to it.
That is quite the impression, Lord Bracken.
Okay.
We choose fire.
Wait, the horse doesn't choose fire. Oh no. Oh.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
They made their choice.
You should have indulged them. I need them alive.
Oh.
They came here to raise swords, not corpses.
But now,
Opposite strategy of the Night King.
intransigent.
It may yet be possible, I think, for both of us to achieve our ends.
We have fought them for an agent more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
They are unyielding in battle, but every man has a weakness.
You take my meaning then. There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Damon, the last time you gave instructions to someone to, so to speak, do your dirty work, I didn't go very well. Oh no.
Are you listening?
My lady.
The Eyrie itself is impregnable.
Oh, I'm happy we're actually following her and her journey too.
Unless
The dragons will grow. In time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
If I had been a son, a sword thrust into my hand the moment I could walk. Instead, I was given my father's cup, taught the name of every lord and castle between Storm's End and the Twins, but not the difference between hilt and foible.
Parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. But the people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
They are afraid. Bread is scarce. The king has fallen. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
But will whispers tear down stone?
Do not underestimate your subjects. They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long. What you cannot do, let others do for you. There is more than one way to fight a war.
She does lend quite an interesting perspective to Rhaenyra.
I wished I had known her when she was young.
You are very like her in some ways. And with her gone, I must rely on you, I think.
Your Grace.
Would you give this to your grandsire? I do not wish to stand alone.
Damon.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Viserys was unsuited for the crown. Daemon, you were made to wear it. If only you'd been born first. My favorite son.
Ah! Ah! Oh, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! I can't with these Targaryens.
It's the time not to.
Damon, why are you vision fucking your mom?
It's also goose, if you prefer it.
Goodness.
I believe William Blackwood is bringing House Bracken to heel. We must ready the castle to receive a great host.
Yeah, but how is he doing that?
Task their huntsmen to bring us meat and wood.
There's, of course, the matter of payment. After the tragedy that befell his father, Larys transferred his family's wealth to King's Landing.
Is there any gold left in your coffers?
Enough to keep this small establishment you see fed and warm.
I shall guarantee the payment myself.
Oh!
Very well, Your Grace.
You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the queen?
Oh, the king.
There it is, then.
Consul.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
But now we must name a regent to take his place until he recovers.
A wise strategy, Your Grace. A regency will assure the people of the stability of the crown. Did you have a candidate in mind, Your Grace?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace, but circumstances have changed. The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemon. Agreed.
Aemond is young. And his lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
Experience is valuable, yes, but the Dowager Queen is a woman.
I am no stranger to royal or to sitting at this council.
Anything but a
Aemond is
woman!
fearsome dragon rider.
I agree, Your Grace, it must be Prince Aemon. But the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Criston, what say you? Aemond is the next in line. It must be him.
Wow.
It's agreed, then.
So we're not even considering my girl, Helena. I'm just kidding.
It's only a matter of time before he inherits his grandson's mantle.
Tell me, Lord Strong, how I can trust the counsel of a man who leaves the jewel of the Riverlands to be plucked by our enemy. No one is to leave or enter save with our consent. Merchants, so forth. What are your tasks? We shall meet again at first light.
Olivia, you send chills
Someone
down my
keep
spine.
rat catchers.
We should make for Tumbleton. My brother will have room.
You would have me turn beggar.
Are we not beggars already? Have you been paid for those machines you were forced to build?
The king has promised payment.
The king has lied.
The king is also burnt to a crisp right now.
Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What? What did you see?
Their armor melted. There were men walking, they were on fire. We have given the war to the dragons. The Dragon Rider should lead us. What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alison?
Do not ask to be spared.
Oh, damn.
I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Oh, damn. Whew.
By order of Aemon Targaryen, Prince Regent and Protector of the Realm.
Aemond.
Does he mean the king?
I don't know.
You cannot keep us here! To return to your homes! We want me!
Our fear lies in Vagar.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Well...
Do you offer us your protection?
I do.
Okay.
And the protection of my uncle.
Oh!
And Daemon, I'm sure, has consented to this?
He will do as his queen commands.
That does lend us some comfort.
What do you want?
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
You want her war? For that, my mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Oh boy. Okay, that was fun.
I hear strange things from Brackenland, from Stonehenge, and Lambswold, and Moray.
There's news then.
News? No. What I hear in the wind. Cries of anguish. Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched.
Oh.
Their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
Surely you haven't mistaken me for an upright man.
And Rhaenyra would hate this.
Chance to do as I required.
Obviously.
The realm will suffer if Aemon One-Eye rules. You should pray you never meet him. He will cut you down soon as wish you good day.
I'd heard the same thing about you. But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
Oh! Oh.
She cannot succeed, Alice.
She had to say it.
Even if I willed it to be so, the people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength. Who's better suited to it? The High Towers with their scheming, or Viserys' first true heir? When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side. King and Queen. Ruling together.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead. And none of this will be my problem.
It's a pity, don't you think, that
Well,
you never
sure.
knew your mother?
Oh!
A message, Your Grace.
I was surprised when they said you were here.
My castle is a tomb.
Oh.
Empty. Haunted.
And sad to have missed its highest days. The wealth you brought back from Yeti and the shy, inspiring awe and envy. I wonder if any of them knew it was all for her.
Oh.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her. Has she not asked enough of my house?
It is a sign of her great esteem.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then. They will accept it most gleefully. The Queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will, in defence of her kin.
And she died.
She died as she would have wished to die, with honour, in Dragonfire, the way my mother chose, and the way I myself wish to meet my end. I grieve
Speak
my
that into
grandmother
the
who
universe.
left me, but I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished, as Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
Granddaughter, I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Oh wow. I know he's going through a lot right now, but I do think he's Rhaenyra's best choice for hand. I agree with that.
I wish you to go to Harrenhal.
Are you removing me from your council?
I will not deny you have tried my patience of late. Or that I would prefer a council more inclined to champion their queen, but...
Sure.
You and your house served my father well. We cannot challenge King's Landing without the Riverlands, but I will not send a message by Raven for Dame to disregard. I ask you to reason with him. Find out his state of mind.
Oh, look at that look on his face. It's like reason with him.
Intentions. Have you any message for him?
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
Your Grace.
There's been a lot of uphill battles in this show. I don't know that any have been higher than being sent to go reason with Daemon. No, Daemon. I don't need to watch you have sex with your mom again.
Your Grace.
Oh, okay.
The wolf. They are demanding to speak presently.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a big old mess. Call me cynical.
There have been complications.
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms. The livestock was stolen, and our peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children.
These beasts
Proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
Oh, see the messy.
being fought in these lands.
Oh, so much messy.
Have you looked after our girls?
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
Woo!
And I will have the man who told it walk before me.
Well, your man is half the kingdom, my prince.
The Riverlands are an ancient place, watched closely by the eyes of old gods and new. And dragon or no, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Oh my goodness. A whole mess. A whole mess. Daemon, you're losing it a little bit. Or a lot of it.
Was it worth the price?
Helena has a talent of saying cryptic things that are dead on the money.
Prince Jacaerys, Your Grace.
Oh! This will be interesting.
Visenya.
Vhagar's first rider. And the first wielder of Dark Sister.
I hope you do not mean to use her as an example.
Why shouldn't I?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
What is the mood at the Twins? Did his lordship quibble?
He wishes for the phrase to be granted Harrenhal.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine, my lord, I'm a dragon rider as well, with a war being fought over my ascension.
Yeah.
And yet I must wait here. Always prudent, sending others to fight and be felled in my name.
You are the queen. The tie that binds us. No harm can come
When
to
you were my son and I did not give you leave to go.
You do not give me leave to go to anything. But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baelor cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young, and Aemond now rules in King's Landing.
Is Aegon dead?
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar. Aemond will not wait long to press his advantage, and then what? I have done all I can from here, sent my messages, invoked my alliances. But if all else fails, it is I who must fight. Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all destroyed?
There is Rhaenyra.
Who nearly lost her life in her last attempt. I would not risk it again.
There are those of our line who never ruled. Those who married into other noble houses. Their children born with other names.
A generation ago, or more. The blood would be thin.
And yet?
The dragon will only accept a dragon lord to write it. Also say the histories.
Valyrian histories. Written to gild us in glory.
Okay.
Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon?
It's better than death and defeat.
Whoa! Okay, stuff is coming together.
Surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
Let's get to reading.
There could be scores of them.
It's a mad sword.
Also kind of exciting. Interesting. I'm listening. Right. Okay, well, I did not know exactly what was going to happen in this episode, but I did have a feeling that I knew the vibe of this episode, going to be a lot of the fallout of everything that took place in the previous episode. And I really felt like that definitely was the case. There was also a heaviness to the fallout to everything. And, you know, part of it being, of course, grief, but it's very much what now? And the mistrust between supposed allies on either side or whatever. And I actually it's weird to say that you quite like such a very somber type of episode, really almost, again, heavy or dark type of episode, but I think it really showcased the tone of how everything is going right now. A few things that I want to mention. I liked the parallels, though in different situations in different ways, but the parallels between Rhaenyra and Alicent, and in the sense of they are just being talked over, talked around, even though they are 2 very major players of this conflict, you know. And in Rhaenyra's case, like literally the queen that they're supposed to be, that they're supposed to be fighting for. And I do think it's different situations, and they definitely kind of took different paths to get where they are, but it is, my goodness, just seeing the parallels of that, of, you know, a woman in this world just does not get taken seriously in times of war. And I did make the point, I understand that maybe riding on a dragon and fighting a dragon's fight in the air is not the same as military tactics on the ground and all of that, right? But it was really interesting that Rhaenys is the one who is normally sitting on that council and was the one that went into battle and stayed in battle, you know, and did meet her end. And you know, I find it interesting because I think the first season had a lot of themes of, you know, can a woman rule, and and will people accept that? Will all of these men on these councils accept the voice of a woman? And even Daemon, you know, talking about it. That she just, you know, Rhaenyra won't be accepted. And I do think that there's a really interesting dynamic. I actually quite liked the scene where, and I forget his name, I am so sorry, you can let me know. But the man that she sent to go reason and go talk to Daemon. That'll be fun. So I do apologize, I'm sorry, that I forget his name. However, you know, that I did actually quite like the scene where it was a little bit of like, I'm going to talk to you separate. We're going to cut the bullshit. It's not a full council meeting. And you know, I think eventually, hopefully, Rhaenyra is going to gain more respect in that room. And obviously she's going to have to deal with the inherent sexism that comes with a woman giving battle strategies in this world, you know? And she's even frustrated with the fact that, you know, the fact that she was born a girl, so she didn't even, you know, she didn't have that path of learning how to fight and all of that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I think that there's more hope on that council for everybody to kind of come together than maybe over on Team Green. Just a guess. It's a whole mess. There's a lot of messes in this episode. There's a lot of messes. I have to say I really liked that shot kind of panning into Olivia, and I really love Olivia's performance as Alicent, and I've always said that, and you can see her fury and pain and sadness and all of that, you know, I think an interesting part of Alicent's character is she really does feel that she gave her, you know, youth and life to do what was asked of her and go on this specific path and do everything that's right, and to feel that she is so cast aside for her son that she currently, let's just say, does not trust. You can just see that it just fury and pain within her, just that one scene. Olivia did a great job there. You know, it was okay. I did have the thought, and it might have been a stupid thought, I'll admit it, but I did have the thought. I was like, are they gonna try to name somebody else to rule in his place? Or are we gonna like Weekend at Bernie's it? I'm trying to prop him up, like, well, what are we doing here? What's going on? Are we just gonna be like, oh yeah, Aegon's doing great, okay, he's doing great. We just, you know, he's just, you know, he doesn't really like to go out in public anymore, something like that. But you know, I find it absolutely rude, and I do not understand at all why are we not talking about Helena, okay, For those of you who take like everything I say super literally, I don't really mean that. I mean, I do. I am Team Helena. Team Bug Princess. Forever. but I don't think she's interested in it. I don't think she wants anything to do with it, but you know, she would put in some good laws, I feel like, against bug violence. That would be great. And yeah, but anyway, she did have that interesting moment. I feel like she had an interesting brief moments with both Aegon and Aemond. Aegon, you know, she kind of watched as kind of carried away, and I thought it was an interesting parallel. We haven't really seen going forward, but that, you know, we didn't really see Helaena, you know, by Aegon's side, much as he kind of wasn't really, I feel like, comforting her after, you know, their son was murdered. And not that, I mean, all parties involved were going through a lot. I just thought it was an interesting parallel there. And then of course she goes up to Aemond and what did she say? Was it worth the cost or the price or whatever? Listen, Helena's been saying stuff. Been saying stuff that tends to, sure, it's cryptic, it's vague, but it tends to come true. And I feel like I know it, and I feel like you know it, that Team Green would probably benefit if they just kind of, you know, like, maybe not made decisions based on what she was saying, but maybe took a little notice. Said, what's that? What's that, Helaena? You know? Anyway, but I thought all of that was really interesting. The whole Daemon thing was a big mess. That was a big mess. I don't really know what to say about it other than that. And, you know, I just think he needs to get out of Harrenhal. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but I just feel like it's not really good for his mental stability there. Call me crazy. Also, can I just say something? And this might be wrong, and you guys can tell me if we have seen it. But I feel like Alice, we haven't seen her interact with anybody else. So is she actually real? Or, I mean, she might be. And there was this scene when Simon Strong was coming towards Daemon, and he looked in her direction, but it could have been like a oh, Daemon, what are you looking at over there kind of thing. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch it. And then it seemed like she almost like vanished behind him, which again could have just been an effect, and he kind of came closer to the screen. She could have walked up, all of that. But, you know, my mind is, you know, it's racing a little bit when it comes to that. I'm quite curious. I am curious about all of that, but I do think that Daemon needs to get out of Dodge when it comes to that. My goodness, I don't know how much more I can take of this, let alone Daemon. And you know what? There is, oh my goodness, it's just such a mess with the Blackwoods and the Brackens and everything that transpired in this episode. I really don't have much to say other than that got very messy very quick, but I am not surprised about that with this show. It's just par for the course here. I do hope, I think it's possible, given that last shot, that Corlys will accept Hand of the Queen, and I think that's, I was hoping for Rhaenys, honestly. I think I even said it in my last reaction. You know, pre bad things happening. But I do think that he is the best choice, in my opinion. And I just really hope, I guess what I was trying to say before, and I don't know if I put it in the right way, but I just hope that Rhaenyra does what she needs to do. And of course it's unfair as a woman, to get a lot of these people on her council to stop undermining her. And I think if she develops a really, really good relationship with Corlys, that will have benefit. I know they already have a relationship, but I mean like a deeper respect between the two. But again, he might be kind of salty. I didn't mean that as a pun with the salt and sea stuff, but about, you know, everything that went down with Rhaenys. But I think it's, I guess, I think it's gonna be interesting to see a conversation between the two, and maybe, hopefully they'll get on the same page. Okay. And now, I have to say, it's really interesting. I quite like Jace and his initiative with, he's really trying. He's trying to do the most when it comes to making alliances, or you know, doing what he can for his mother. And I do really appreciate that. And I think I wanted to just let it play, and I didn't really want to talk over it or anything like that. But, and I think, you know, Rhaenyra kind of said what I was thinking when she's already dealing with a bunch of men on her council undermining her and everything like that. It is not a good look to have your son again go behind your back to do something, even if it greatly benefits. You know what I'm saying? And I think she was able to slightly convey that pretty well. So, you know, but that's really what I was thinking as soon as he showed up there at the end. And I do actually like that he wants to do everything that he can to help in this fight. But I also, you know, think that he needs to stand strong and show support for Rhaenyra, so that, and of course he's super supportive, but even more outwardly, you know, just so I think it'll help with all of this council bullshit. All right. You guys get what I'm saying, hopefully. Anyway, I think, oh, and I did laugh. Listen, we all know that Vhagar, she's a tough bitch, okay? She's a big bitch and she's a tough bitch, all right? And when he was talking to the phrase about, they were like, we're worried about Vhagar. And he's like, well, I have a dragon. And I was like, well, I don't mean to be rude, but and I will be quite interested to see Jace in action. And I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, because I do think that Rhaenyra is kind of holding him close to the chest a bit. I think half, yes, because he's, you know, the heir, but also just maybe because of everything that went down with Luke. I mean, right? Maybe. Yeah. Anyway. But I will be interested to see him in action and see if he's able to kind of show restraint. Is he going to be more impulsive in a battle, or, you know, or anything like that? I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he acts in that situation. I just don't know if we're going to see that anytime soon. I'm quite interested about how they ended this episode, as I mentioned in a previous reaction when they were, I was talking about how I was like, it's so nice that they seem to be kind of more focusing on the common folk, because I actually quite find it fascinating whenever in these stories about like a grand war, when they actually show the effects on the people, which not every piece of media does. But I can tell once certain things were getting revealed and everything like that, that, you know, these might be certain common folk, or, you know, that might have Targaryen blood. And it might be interesting. Might be interesting, given the ending here. And I will give my, I guess, theory that I had in the last reaction. I just didn't really talk about it because I was like, I don't know. But given how this plot is going, I have a feeling that Alan, that whole interaction, my theory was that he is Corlys's bastard. Maybe he had an affair, and maybe, and that was kind of what, you know, when Rhaenys sort of kind of touched his face and said, your mother must have been beautiful, and all of that, and why that might have been very uncomfortable for him, and all of that. And so maybe he's you know, I don't know. There's a lot of players that I feel like are just getting introduced with kind of smaller parts that I feel like will become very important later on. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, this was a pretty heavy episode dealing with all of the fallout, and that's kind of what I expected. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you would like to support me on Patreon or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But if not, I'm just happy that you were here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.